Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Biden denies sexual assault allegation from former Senate staffer. This is the first time Biden has directly addressed the claims. Former Vice President Joe Biden on Friday denied an allegation of sexual assault from Tara Reade, a former staffer who served in Biden's Washington Senate office for a brief period in 1993. I want to address allegations by a former staffer that I engaged in misconduct 27 years ago. They aren't true. This never happened, Biden said in a statement Friday morning. The accusations first surfaced publicly in late March, raised by Reade, 56, a California woman who once served as an entry-level Senate staff assistant. Reade alleged that Biden aides asked her to hand-deliver a gym bag to him in a Senate office building, and when she did, she alleges Biden moved in close, pinned her against a wall, slipped his hand under her skirt, and rendered her with his fingers. Biden campaign officials have denied the allegations, but this is the first time Biden has directly addressed the claims. In his statement, Biden also referenced the calls for him to release records that span his 36-year career in the Senate and are currently housed at the University of Delaware, which some believe could potentially contain materials relevant to Reade's accusations. In particular, a written complaint Reade said she filed on the incident. In interviews with ABC News, Reade said that the complaint she filed against Biden only contained allegations of sexual harassment and did not include the allegation of sexual assault she has since leveled against Biden. Biden said Friday that the only place Reade's alleged complaint would be is the National Archives in Washington, D.C., and called on the Secretary of Senate to make available any record of the complaint she may have filed. There is only one place a complaint of this kind could be: the National Archives. The National Archives is where the records are kept at what was then called the Office of Fair Employment Practice. I am requesting that the Secretary of Senate ask the archives to identify any record of the complaint she alleges she filed and make available to the press any such document. If there was ever any such complaint, the record will be there, Biden said Friday morning. In an interview Friday morning on MSNBC, minutes after his statement denying the assault was released, Biden was similarly adamant that there is no meter to Reid's claim. No, it is not true. I'm saying it never happened. It didn't never happened, Biden said. The former vice president, at times appearing frustrated by the consistent line of questioning, pushed back when pressed for the release of certain records from the collection he donated to the University of Delaware. First of all, let's get this straight. There are no personal documents. You can't do that, Biden said, again pointing to the National Archives as the location where any records about a complaint would be, if they existed. Later on in the interview, Biden also said one of the reasons he did not want to release all of his records housed at the University of Delaware is that they contain certain imposition papers and records of conversations with world leaders that should not be made public, adding that those should not be forwarded in his ongoing campaign against President Trump. The fact is that there's a lot of things. Speeches I've made, positions I've taken, interviews that I did overseas with people, all of those things relating to my job. And the idea that they would all be made public in the fact while I'm running for public office, they can really taken out of context, Biden said. And all of that to be forwarded in a campaign at this time, I don't know of anybody who's done anything like that, he added. Biden said he was not sure why Reid was coming forward with the allegations after 27 years, but stated he would not speculate about her motive, focusing intends on making sure the allegations were thoroughly vetted. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to go in and question her motive. I'm not going to attack her. She has a right to say whatever she wants to say, but I have the right to say, look at the facts, check it out, find out whether any of what she says is asserted is true, Biden said. This was not the atmosphere in my office at all. No one has ever said anything like this, the former vice president added. ABC News spoke with several people Reid said she shared her story with, including Reid's brother, a friend and former neighbor of hers, who recounted Reid telling them of an incident involving Biden. Reid's brother initially told ABC News he only heard her account of the assault this spring, but after the initial interview in later March, Moulton texted ABC News later that day to clarify his account, saying he remembered his sister telling him in 1993 that Biden had more or less concerned in her against the wall and put his hands up her clothes. While Reid said she spoke with several people in the office about the incident, multiple former staffers to Biden say they do not remember Reid ever bringing her complaint to them. She did not come to me. I would have remembered if she had, and I do not remember her. Ted Kaufman, Biden's chief of staff at the time, told ABC News, I would have well remembered her if she had come to me with this. Both in his interview and his statement, Biden pointed to his work on the Violence Against Women Act that he spearheaded, saying he was most proud of that accomplishment in pledging he will continue advocating for women going forward. I know how crucial women's health issue and basic women's rights are. That has been a consistent through my career as president. That work will continue, and I will continue to learn from women, to listen to women, to support women, and yes, to make sure women's voices are heard, Biden wrote in the statement released Friday. President Trump responded to Biden's defense against Reid's allegations, saying in an interview with the Dan Bogian show that aired on Friday that he thought Reid seems very credible, but he could understand Biden's denial. I guess in a way you could say I'm sticking up for him, Trump said. I would just say to Joe Biden, just go out and fight it, he added. Trump has been accused more than a dozen times of sexual assault allegations he has very much denied. Several prominent Democrat lawmakers, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, have come out in support of Biden in recent days, saying that they are satisfied with the denials from him and his campaign. I have complete respect for the Me Too movement. I have 4 daughters and 1 son, and there's a lot of excitement around the idea that women will be heard and will be listened to. There is also due process, and that fact that Joe Biden is Joe Biden. There's been statements from his campaign, not his campaign, but his former employees who ran his office, and the rest that there was never any record of this, Pelosi said at a news conference on Capitol Hill Thursday. And that does it for my news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.